boys and girls. So it's the international break and I am absolutely bored shitless. What have I done this past week? Spent most of it in B&Q because that's what you have to do when it's the international break. You get sent down to the likes of B&Q to go and do all the chores in the house that you've left for months and months and months. I never want to see wallpaper again. I never want to see drills again. I'm sick and tired of it. International break, piss off. You do my nutting. Why can we not just stick to Premier League football? Taking my Arsenal away from me. It's killing me. Seriously. Can't wait to get back into it next week. There's one good thing to come from it. I've had a bit of a break this week. People seem to think that when you do YouTube and everything else, it's easy. You've got a life of luxury. But when you produce so much content and you're doing it all by yourself, you're editing, you're literally doing everything. When you're playing matches on a Sunday, then a Thursday, then a Sunday, you're talking about previews to every game, match day vlogs for every game, player ratings for every game. That's 9 videos in 7 days. And like I said, I've got to edit those, everything. So it's not easy, but listen, I enjoy what I do. It's just nice to have a little chill time every now and then, but not from the international break. My word, boring. Look at England the other night. What crap was that? 0-0. Do you know what? That's made me actually just think what it actually resembled, and the fact that I've been to B&Q so much. Paint drying. I may as well have watched the walls that I painted dry, because that would have been more entertaining. Anyway, this video is a Q&A. I put a tweet out there earlier on today and I said to everyone, get your questions in. There's been hundreds and hundreds. Again, I wish I could answer all of yours. I really do, but it's just impossible. So I picked 10 of the best. Hopefully you've been selected, and yeah, we will get straight into the questions. First one comes from a Brian McG23. And he says, do you think our recent success is down to new tactics or a change in mentality, or maybe both? I actually think it's both. I can see a complete change in the mentality of the players. They look stronger, they look fitter, they look hungrier. They're not letting, going goals down and things like that affect them, which has been one of our biggest problems. We go a goal down, then before we know it, it's 2 or 3. We're fighting, we're hanging in there. Even when we're not playing well, we're grinding out results. 9 wins in a row in any league is a serious, achievement. So in that sense, I can see it. And the tactics as well. Emery, he's changing things around. We've gone from 4-2-3-1. We've done a 4-4-2. He's making changes at half time and changing the whole way that we're playing. It's a breath of fresh air and it's working. Like I said, 9 wins in a row. So yeah, I can see massive changes within the club, both on and off the pitch, and it's good to see. So hopefully that answers your question. Next one comes from Fraser15. And he says, who do you think will win between Henry's Monaco and Vieira's Nice? Yeah, because with Thierry Henry taking over as Monaco manager now, there will be that battle to look forward to. I believe the first game's in December, Monaco against Nice. I'm going to have to go with Monaco, to be quite honest with you. I think they've got a better squad than Nice, more experience and whatnot. And yeah, Henry and Vieira, both novices when it comes to managing clubs and whatnot. Vieira's had a little bit more experience with him being out in America. But yeah, be interesting battles. 2 good friends on and off the pitch, and won so many trophies together. Now they'll be competing against each other, and I think it's actually going to be between these 2 for our next manager. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see who does the better and who possibly will take over as our next manager from Emery, probably in about 4 or 5 years time. I reckon that may well be. Next question comes from a Matt_DP2. And he says, what's my favourite European away day? It's going to be a random one, but Bate Borisov. If you don't know about Bate Borisov, go and watch the matchday vlog from that game. Yeah, that was emotional. That was crazy. we decided to fly into Lithuania, and the plan was to get a taxi to pick us up from Lithuania and drive us into Belarus. It's not that far, about an hour. We had a lovely car come and pick us up, this flash Mercedes. Oh, it was just like, this is the life, luxury, everything. We got to the Lithuania border, went through, straight on the other side of the Belarus border, and we went to start filling out the visa forms. Now, because of the way you're coming in and because of the time you're spent there, you don't need to actually apply for a main visa or anything like that. You just fill out this form and it's job done. So we got halfway through filling out the forms, and this guy come over with his silly hat on, looked like something from the Thunderbirds, and he weren't having it, weren't letting us in the country. Long story short, we got sent back to Lithuania airport, and yeah, we got taken back by some random guy in a Range Rover with no fingers, and he was an alcoholic, and all his bottles were jingling around in the back of the boot of the car. It was, oh mate, I can't even describe how mad it was. So anyway, got back to the airport. I'm there with Lee Gunner, my brother, and some others. And yeah, they're all ready to look to book a flight home and get home. I'm sat in the corner of the airport, pissed off, tired. And I managed to find a flight the next morning. But where was it from again? It was about 300 odd miles away anyway. So I've got Lee and I've said, right, go find a taxi. Tell him we'll give him 200 euros to drive us there, 300 odd miles. And we'll get a plane from there. So we did that, found a taxi, drove to, I think it was Slovakia or somewhere like that. It was, but we went there, 300 odd miles, got there in the morning, managed to get the flight, got to Belarus. When I was there, I found out my son that was playing for Stevenage while I was out there had broke his leg. I couldn't get home. I struggled to even get there. And yeah, and then we found out when the game had finished that we couldn't get home the way we booked, because you can only go back in the way that, just believe me, it was a mission. So we had to go to Belarus airport, we had to find other flights, and we flew into the Ukraine. And then we had to fly from the Ukraine into Gatwick, and then I had to get a train from Gatwick to Luton where my car was parked. So cost over £1,000 in total, something like that, that trip. And luckily we won. Reece Nelson gave me a shirt after the game as well. So yeah, for adventures, that was it. Yeah, Barty Borisov, that was the one for me. Yeah, so I think that one answers your question. Next one comes from DBar1215, and he says, if you could sign one player and why, and realistic. I'm going to take realistic out of this because the player that I would love is Mbappe. Mate, it's a phenomenon. It's just unreal. What a player. If only we would have signed him when Wenger used to go round to his parents' house and have dinner and chat to him and everything. If only we could have got that done. But unbelievable player. I genuinely think that he won't be at PSG for long, but I think his next destination after that will be the likes of Real Madrid. I think that boat has long sailed for us, unless someone takes over us that's going to throw around ridiculous amounts of money like they do at Man City. Then yeah, it is what it is. But that's the player for me that I would love, is Mbappe. My word, what a player. Next question comes from a JC_1881 Orient. He says, what's the best foreign ground you have been to atmosphere wise? And again, it goes to last season in the Europa League, and that would be Red Star. Unbelievable. Galatasaray, they're up there in Turkey. Ridiculous. The nice welcome that they give you at the airport. But Red Star, the atmosphere inside the stadium was just insane. I would love to go and watch one of their derbies, Red Star and Partizan. Yeah, even, you know, we beat them, and an hour after the game, they're still in there, letting off flares and singing and going mad. And I was like, wow, these guys are crazy. We were locked in the stadium for 2.5 hours after the game because they couldn't let us out. And yeah, their fans are so vocal, and fair play to them, man. Fair play to them. Brilliant support, brilliant support. So for me, that one would definitely be right up there. Next question comes from a Mohammed 1935. If you were a football player, what manager would you like to manage you? I'd say Pep Guardiola, to be quite honest with you. You look at his track record and the players he's got and had, and he gets the best out of them. And some of the things that he's done as a manager, I feel that he's had the best football inside at a certain period in time when he had that Barcelona side. And you think of the Champions League final at Wembley when they destroyed Manchester United. That Barcelona side, and they destroyed us a load of times as well. They were phenomenal, you know, and I know you can talk about Messi and everything else, but you still got to manage them. You look at the way the likes of Raheem Sterling, for example, the way he's changed as a player under Pep Guardiola. Yeah, Pep all day long. He would demand everything out of you and get it out of you if you've got it in there. So, yeah, that's who I would go with, Pep Guardiola. Next question comes from Micah Brandon ONG. What do you think of Jadon Sancho and Phil Foden's progress? Phil Foden, I don't know how much chances he's really going to get at Manchester City. I think that you only need to look at Jadon and what he's doing. A lot of balls to get up and leave and go to Germany with Dortmund, and he's doing the business. It's as simple as that. You look at what Reiss Nelson's having to do right now. He's left Arsenal on loan, gone over to Germany, and already scored a couple of goals. And I think this might be the new thing now, where a lot of the English youngsters that have got talent will go to the likes of the Bundesliga to get football, because they just don't seem to be getting it in the Premier League. So that's my concern with Foden. He's got the talent, but will he get enough game time to really prove himself at Manchester City? I don't think so. Not with the kind of money that they've got. Why, you know, try and develop someone when you can go and buy, you know, the ready-made? That's the problem. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question. Next one comes from a Lucas JR1244. And he says, who do you think will be the future club captain and why? I made my thoughts on this a long time ago pretty clear, but I actually think our next captain could well be Granit Xhaka. You know my thoughts on him. I love the guy. And it's not just because of that, but I do think that he could be a captain. He's been captain of Switzerland before. He was captain in Germany. He's got everything there. He's already been captain for Arsenal. You think of our only last league game against Fulham, he was captain. If he keeps improving the way he is, especially this season with the likes of Torreira next to him, he's got all the attributes, and it's as simple as that. You can disagree with it, but it is what it is. So that's who I think could well be a future captain of Arsenal. Next question comes from a MUFC fan 2017. And he says, any advice for videos to promote my YouTube channel? What videos could I do? Well, you're already promoting your channel by me promoting your channel. So yeah, that's a good one. But listen, work hard, be consistent, do what you enjoy. Make sure you do content that you enjoy, and stuff that's engaging, that your subscribers and people will want to come back and watch. One thing that I found is consistency. If you set a day per week where you at least bring videos out, then everyone starts to get an understanding that, you know, for example, you bring a video out every Wednesday at 6 o'clock. People start to wait for that video at that time. You know, don't be so sporadic and put videos all over the place. People know, with myself, for example, there's match day vlogs. People know that the moment Arsenal play, within a few hours of the game finishing, there's going to be a match day vlog. So there's consistency, and that's been like that for a couple of years. They know that before games come up, there's going to be previews. They now know this season that the day after a game, there's going to be player ratings. And that's what I feel is important, that you've got to have some consistency so your subscribers get an understanding of who you are and what you produce. So that's my advice that I would give you. Just keep your head down, keep working hard, keep plugging away. And eventually you'll get to where you want to be. So hopefully that answers your question. Last one comes from an RM673101, and he says, what's my dream job? professional footballer. Pretty much, yeah. Would love that. Imagine being a professional footballer. What a life. It's not about the money. I come from an era where the money weren't a thing. It's just about playing for the club you love, playing ball. It's all I ever used to do. Wake up in the morning, go over the roads where there was a brick wall over my mum and dad's house, and I used to just practice kicking a ball against it day in, day out. I remember I'm right-footed predominantly, and then I wanted to get stronger with my left, and I actually tied my right leg to a post in my garden so that I could only strike the ball with my left foot. Now I can actually strike the ball with both feet and you won't be able to tell whether I'm right or left footed. And that's what I learned from as a kid. And like I said, that's all we used to do. There was not the modern technology there is now and all this kind of stuff. Where I grew up, we had a road where we lived and there was a green in the middle, and there was like 6 or 7 of us that all used to live on this road. And we used to get up in the morning, first one to get up would go and knock on everyone's door, all come out, and we would literally spend all day on this green just playing football. Our goals were 2 trees. Luckily enough, they were, you know, so far apart that it was like a goal. And that was what we used to have. That was it, day in, day out. That's all we used to do. So I think things have changed a lot more now. I'd love some of the stuff that the youngsters get nowadays. Even to the pitches, we used to play on absolute shit baths, absolute mud pits, awful places. Even our training pitches, we ain't got all these fancy 4G, 3G things. We used to play on hard clay. You wonder why we've all got bad knees now. But yeah, that is my dream job, most definitely. And that's a footballer. So there we have it. That is my Q&A. 10 questions answered. My apologies if you were not selected. Like I said, there was literally hundreds of you that sent in your questions. So the ones that did get answered, I hope I answered them all right for you. Yeah, listen, football is about to come back this week. Thank God. So, like I was saying, preview for the Leicester game. Of course, we do have to actually wait a little longer because we're not playing at the weekend. We're playing on a Monday. But there will be a preview for that. There will be the match day vlog. And then there will be the player ratings. And then I'm off out to Portugal where we play Sporting in the Europa League. And again, previews, match day vlog, player ratings. So yeah, thanks for watching. And I'll see you lot soon. I'm out of here.